what should I do if I'm asked a question and I have no idea about the topic? Many students worry that they'll go into the test and the examiner will ask them a question about a topic that they've never thought about before. Their mind goes blank and they just have no idea what to say. So I'm going to try to give you a few suggestions to help you avoid this situation. First of all, it's good to know that most of the topics in the IELTS speaking test are general in nature. They are everyday, familiar topics that everyone has some experience with and should be able to give an opinion on. So for example, in part 1, these are things like your job, your studies, your family, your hometown, how you travel around, what you like to do in your spare time. In part 2, there is a broader range of topics. However, they tend to fall into one of 4 general types. So this might be a person that you know. It could ask you to describe a place you visited. It might be an object that you received or you gave to someone. Or it could be something cultural, like a book or a film or a museum, some kind of cultural experience that you enjoyed. So my advice to you, first of all, is to prepare to give answers on these different familiar topics. In part 2, try to prepare at least one from each of these 4 different types. That way, if you're asked a topic that's similar, you can adapt your answer slightly and it will make it easier for you to answer because you already have some ideas. Having said all of that, you may occasionally be asked a trickier question on a more unfamiliar topic. For example, the examiner might ask you something like, what do you think about robots? Or what's your favorite flower? In this situation, if you do get a completely unexpected topic, first of all, don't panic. There are a couple of things that you can do. Firstly, you can make up your answer. You don't need to worry about giving a truthful, accurate response. You can say the first thing that comes into your head, and that's fine. The IELTS is a speaking test, not a test about your opinions or your general knowledge. So it's fine to make up your answer. Secondly, this is a good opportunity to use something called fluency markers. Fluency markers are short expressions that native speakers use when we're trying to buy time to think about how to respond to a difficult question. So for example, if someone asked me, what's your favorite flower? I'd probably say, well, that's a good question. Or, I've never thought about that before, but I'd have to say that. In this way, I'm giving myself a bit more time to think about what I want to say. And this is a really nice way to improve your score for fluency and coherence, because this is a very natural way of speaking. So if you can practice these expressions, make it sound very natural when you use them, that will actually increase your score while helping you to deal with unexpected topics. So that's my advice for dealing with difficult topics and questions in the IELTS test. First of all, make sure you plan and prepare ideas for the range of familiar topics. There are a number of topics that always come up in the IELTS test. Be ready to answer them so they don't take you by surprise. Secondly, it's fine to make up your answers. Don't try to tell the truth all the time. If it's easier to make up an answer, go for that. Finally, practice using fluency markers. Expressions like, that's a good question, or, well, I'd have to say that. This will give you a bit more time to respond and to think about your answer. So I hope you found that helpful. That's all for me. Best of luck. Goodbye for now.